Good morning.
Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, North Metro. We're going to get started here in a few minutes, but I got to take care of something.
It's a new thing.
All right, that'll get your heart. That'll get your heart beating.
So an absolute gratitude for all of us together in person and through the magic of the computer. I'm just so grateful. Grateful for this day, grateful for this service, grateful for the vibration of that gong. It just really sets the tone. And I just absolutely know that we are divinely guided through this service, that everything we say is exactly what is ours to say, and people hear what is theirs to hear, and it is a time of revelation and renewal and love. And so in absolute gratitude, I just release this word into the into the spirit of love, into the action of the law, and release it and let it go and allow it to be. And so it is.
So it is.
So it is.
We're going to get started with some music.
Yes.
So here's the lovely and the beautiful brain freeze.
Robin
Hackett.
We're both having it. Hopefully we'll find our tongues in our brains before we have to talk. Okay.
Here's a song just to open up our hearts. If you want to sing along, please do. Open wide my heart. 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 My heart. My heart.
Yay, thank you so much. Can you actually hear people clapping?
Wow.
How about that?
That's wonderful.
Isn't it?
Good morning, everyone that's there.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Okay, we have a couple of announcements. Like us and check in on Facebook at CSL North Metro. Go to contact us on our website, cslnorthmetro.org, and get yourself added to the email list so that we can let you know what's going on around here and you get to join in. You can also add yourself to the prayer request and make your prayer request, and we'll pray on it all week. And there's a new blog out there
Hey.
from Reverend Michael that we just put up yesterday, and lots more information. So if you shop on Amazon and you don't have somebody else as your charity, just sign up for Smile. It's Amazon Smile, Amazon Smile. Anyway.
Amazon Smile.
And select Center for Spiritual Living North Metro as your charity, and then every time you shop, we get paid.
So shop a lot.
we do. And today's title is Love Mania.
Mm-hmm.
And you already heard from our guest artist, Robin Hackett. And our reading today is from, I don't know if you can see that or not, Voice of the Master by Eva Bell Werber. And now it's time for Ernestine Garcia is going to read our affirmations. If this isn't right, make it right before you get up there. Is it good? You're too tall.
I'm a little tall, but that's okay.
You can move the camera.
Affirmations for the week of July 11, 2021. Please repeat after me. The light of God shines brightly and vibrantly as my life.
The light of God shines brightly and vibrantly as my life.
I see the joy and grace of Spirit in all situations.
I see the joy and grace of Spirit in all situations.
My needs are met fully and abundantly by the universe always.
My needs are met fully and abundantly by the universe always.
I experience freedom from all that does not serve my spirit's highest evolution.
I experience freedom from all that does not serve my spirit's highest evolution.
The manifestation of God's unique individuality is present in all my relationships.
The manifestation of God's unique individuality is present in all my relationships.
I soar through life on the wings of unconditional love and absolute harmony.
I soar through life on the wings of unconditional love and absolute harmony.
And together we say,
And
so it is. As Reverend Valerie said, the reading is from The Voice of the Master by Eva Bell Werber. You long to love me, my beloved, yet how much more do I yearn to express my love for thee. It is only humans themselves who stop the flow of divine love into their lives. I long to enrich and enfold and bless all mankind, yet I am shut out from mine own by their failure to recognize my presence. Open your heart freely. Let me pour through you, who are the vessels of my creating the great love of God. As you receive and again give forth, this love shall return to you 1,000-fold. Even as the sands of the shore are beyond your counting, so is the great divine love which shall be bestowed upon you beyond your measure. As you receive and pour forth again and yet again, so shall it continue to bless and adorn your life. This is what I mean when I say, I would love you. So even as you love me, it is all one action. For I am the all of you, and every act of your day shall be an act of love to me, setting in motion my love for you. Blessings, my child, and our communion shall be sweet all through the coming hours. And together we say, and so it is.
Wow, Ernestine, that gave me chills. It's really different having somebody read it out loud and just reading it, typing it up by myself. It was really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we ready for some more music?
Yes.
Come on,
Can't
Robin.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me, There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when I think I can't go on, when I go inside and quiet my mind, I can hear Spirit gently say, there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love.
Yay.
Wow. Oh, Robin, you can't hear, but we all sang along with you today. It was
Oh, yay.
It was really nice. It was lovely. Thank you so much.
Yes. We'll be back to you in a little while. We're going to do our thing now.
Okay, I love it. Thank you.
Okay.
Here we go.
Here we are. And it's a lovely day, and we have some lovely people gathered here today. And it's so nice to have live folks
Yes,
to talk to.
it is. And I reset the computer so I could actually see them this week, which is really nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So today's title came from an old thought from the 60s when Beatlemania came into life. And you think of Beatlemania and you think of all these screaming young women just letting out all this energy.
Yeah, it's so fun.
And it was love. It was a form of love for these four guys that made music and created a whole different world for our society. So today's title is Love Mania, and I invite you all to become what I am, a love maniac. And we can even start a whole movement of love maniacs that just have this screaming voices inside of them saying, let me give more love, let me give more love. I'm here to give as much love as possible. I was also guided to a little booklet that I have by Christian D. Larson. It's entitled Leave It to God, which reminds me of something of the 60s too. Leave it to Beaver. I don't know why I said that, but it had to be said. But anyway, I got this quote from it, and it was meaningful for me. He says, when we say that we leave it up to God, it's supremely important that we have the greatest and the highest thought of God conceivable. When we say we leave it up to God, what is your highest and greatest thought of God? The most conceivable thought you can think of. And mine, first thing that came up was love, supreme love, the ultimate love. That God love that is everywhere present, that is touching hearts. When they open, it floods them with ideas, with motivation, with just all kinds of beautiful things. But I like to change the the quote from saying, in the highest thought to the highest vision, because a thought can come and go, but a vision is consistent. It keeps going. It keeps becoming until it becomes. And so if you're carrying that vision of the highest and greatest thought of God as love, then it's love becoming through you constantly until you get to that place. And hopefully we all reach that place where we just are. We're just pure love, manifesting all over the place, moving mountains and moving souls and touching people that we don't even know we've touched. I also like to think of ourselves as this bottomless pit, and just filled with love, and it's ever giving, and it can never be used up. It's more than we could ever use. It never gets exhausted, and it's just waiting for us to engage in it, to drop the bucket. And I think of the bucket symbolically as our conscious mind, to drop our conscious mind into that fluid, that ever expanding capability of loving beyond all measures. So you drop your bucket into the love, and you pull it up, and you see where it takes you. You let it guide you, let it direct you. You let it be whatever it wants to be through you and as you. And I think there's a mania energy sort of created as you focus and you keep your attention on that vision of love as God, as you, because you were created from it, and you are it. You are the pure love. Mm-hmm. So anyone that comes into this energy field is automatically touched in some way. They may not even know it, but something, because you are this field of love, you're a love maniac. It permeates all around. It permeates the atmosphere all around you, and allows people to step into it and raise above where they were the moment before. Checking my notes, because I got lots of notes. So I gave it more thought, and I thought, what can spark this mania within me? What is one thing that could bring forth or free me to be this love maniac? And the first thing that came to my thought was forgiveness. That a lot of us go through the world, and we've traveled many, many moons, and we've probably been hurt. There's been people who've hurt us, or who've blamed us for something that we didn't do, or who try to control us, or who take advantage of us. We've all had those moments, and it can cause a place to hurt us, or to make us mad, or to alter our way of being this love in a profound way. So the first most important step in the forgiveness is, first of all, forgiving yourself. So if you allowed somebody to take advantage of you, or allowed somebody to hurt you, or allowed somebody to try to control you, you're clear that it happened, and you've awakened to the truth of who you are, so you can let it go now. You can forgive yourself for that taking place, and for you being a participant in it, because that was then, and this is now. And now is to forgive, to let go, to let God, to allow yourself to be that perfect emanation of pure spirit that you were birthed to be. And the other side of that is you've forgiven yourself. Now, how do you forgive others? Well, I like to look at it as, that's just people being people. It has no influence on me. I don't need that reciprocation. I don't need to have somebody recognize my forgiveness of them, because as Terry Cole Whitaker says, what you think of me is none of my business. And so if you can get that attitude that what someone thinks of you isn't your business, and your forgiveness is fulfilled because you did your work, then there's nothing left to do but just allow that love mania to start screaming forth inside you by your actions, by your deeds, by your thoughts, by your ever being you.
I'm going to just interrupt you for a second.
Yeah.
So when you were talking about that, I was just re-looking at a book called Unconditional Love by Ken Kais. That it's an old book that I've had forever. But what he talks about is distinguishing between the person and the behavior. Because the person is always loved. The behavior, sometimes not so much. And so the discussion was around that. I always can love the person while I can be vehemently opposed to the behavior, but I don't have to not love the person because of the behavior. And I thought that's what you were talking about, and so I just wanted to stick it in there instead of putting it somewhere else where it might not make as much sense.
Well, it's funny you say that, because the next step in forgiveness was surrender. Surrendering your act of forgiveness to God, giving God that place to take care of you, to inspire you, to lift you above what used to be into the what is now, the perfection of your spirit. And we can do that through, when we surrender our forgiveness to God, then we find ourselves being able to accept that individual as they are. And as Reverend Valerie said, we don't have to like them. We don't have to try to be friends with them. We don't have to even be in their life. But we do have to get to the place where we don't need the reciprocation.
And where we're not holding hate in our heart.
Right.
Because that hurts us. That does not hurt the other person.
That's right.
That hurts us.
That's right. So I think the last thing that is important in these steps of forgiveness, you forgive, you surrender, you forgive. Wait a minute. You forgive, you surrender, and then you honor or you accept. And the last thing that I try to do is to give thanks. Give thanks for the opportunity that I had this experience. Give thanks for the Spirit for showing me the way to forgive and clear my heart. And give thanks to the individual for being that lesson that I needed to learn. Mm-hmm. Thanksgiving is always the last step in forgiving.
Mm-hmm. So when I first started thinking about this topic, I thought about the love I experienced as a little kid, which was very conditional. From the teachers, from my parents, from just about everybody. If you act this way, if you do this thing, if you be this way, then you're worthy of love. And I've probably told this story before, but I can remember this day. We're sitting in the church pew. I could be 7 or 8. And my mother points out that not only do my brothers look up to everything I do and copy it, but their friend's little girl, who's one of my brother's ages, is copying every move I make too, so that I have to be very, very clear that I'm an example to everybody when I'm doing anything. So, that was a really heavy load, and I took that on. I probably still am carrying that one, even though I'm aware of it. I know it's not true. I know all that. It's like once we take those things on and think we have to be perfect in order to be loved, because everybody's looking up to us, like, why me? But anyway, so I just wanted to think about that, because it's like every report card I brought home, it was like, oh yeah, but you're much smarter than this, or oh yeah, or you're more talented than this, or oh yeah, but you're. And so we have the opportunity, I have the opportunity to let all of that stuff go and recognize, yeah, that's how it was, and that's the best they could do, and that's that. And then just recognize, what is this unconditional love? That is, and I recognize it. It's really easy to recognize with grandchildren because you get to send them home. So, they can be doing whatever they're doing, and sometimes the behavior is not so pleasant. But and I'm sure I felt that way with my kids too, and I feel that way with you too. I mean, I can remember in the beginning when I kept thinking I needed to change you, and I needed to have things my way, and that's another thing. I'll just take the same thoughts about. Well, I just think of my brother reloading the dishwasher every time I tried to help him. I'm unloading it and putting it back in there because I didn't do it right. And so, how many times do we lose our peace and lose our love and lose our well, I guess that place of love when we have to have everything just perfectly the way we think it needs to be done. And so I think as a child, I think I longed for that approval. And so I did try to do everything that everybody wanted all the time so I could be that perfect being. And then I was probably 40 when I started acting out. And I feel really, really sorry for my mother and my husband when it finally hit, because they did not know what hit them. All of a sudden, that what I want came out. So, and those are all good things. And, it all happened like it happened, and my mother learned to love me like I am, and I have the best relationship I've ever had with my former husband, and I got this guy. So, and then I found I had been looking all of my life for this teaching. All of my life I had been looking for this teaching, and it's been here. It just wasn't in the circles that I was in, and I kept dragging myself to church after church after church after church and just not finding what I wanted. And then one day I did, and it must be in time on time. That's all I can say about that. So I think sometimes when we think about unconditional love, we think that that person needs to love us back. It needs to do the same thing back that we're giving out, and that isn't it. And I also was thinking, when you were talking about, you didn't exactly say give it up to God, but I had this friend who said that when things got really, really heavy for her, she would give it all up to God, and then things would start getting really, really better. Then she said, then when things start getting better, I have a tendency to say, well, I'll just take this piece back. Well, I'll just take this piece back. Well, I'll just take this piece back. And then she said, and then things are all a mess again, and then I have to give it all to God. So what we can learn by that is, if we understand who we are, that divine presence and that divine life and that divine love and that divine peace is within us all the time, and we can distinguish between our thoughts and our behaviors and who we are, we can be in that state of bliss all of the time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so, oh yeah, and then also Ken Kai talked about, we're not our mental conditioning. And so, I think that part of what we're doing when we take classes and when we go through Science of Mind is learning what that mental conditioning has been, and learning new ways of being, and learning new ways of doing things, and learning new ways of being ourselves, which is absolute love all of the time. And so I just wanted to, I found this one also in that same book, but it's by a guy named Alvin Sorenkin, and he wrote it in the 60s. Unselfish love has enormous and therapeutic potentialities far greater than most people think. Love is a life-giving force necessary for physical, mental, and moral health. Love. So, and then the whole discussion about that was, our physical health is connected to how much we love and how much we are, and when we're in that place of hate or fear or any of those other emotions, we're actually doing harm to our physical body as well.
It's good to recognize how love shows up in your life, because if you can't recognize it, then you can't allow that those screaming individuals within you to let out the energy that uplifts you. And one thing I was thinking about, how grateful I am to actually be doing what I love to do. That is a divine gift, and I eternally give thanks for that. And the frosting on the cake is, I get to do what I love to do with the person I love to do it with, and that love just keeps multiplying. multiplying and growing as you recognize those places in your life where love shows up, where love is demonstrated for you and for others, because we are carriers of the love. We are givers of the love. Like I said before, the well is deep. It can never be used up. You can never outgive the giver. I'm recalling a situation, and I may have told this before too, but what the heck, I got the camera, I can say whatever I want. And I remember this time I was with a group that was a singing group, and we were doing really good, and somehow somebody told them that they needed to get rid of the white guy because it was 3 African American singers and me, and that kind of hurt.
It hurt?
It hurt big time.
Yeah.
So one day I was with this friend, and I told her the story and how I was trying to get to a place of forgiveness because it was very difficult. I just couldn't get there. And when I would see him, I would just get so mad at him, and the hurt would be so deep. So she said, well, why don't you come over to this, what is it called? It's an Eastern church. Maybe it'll help.
I think of it today. Just go on.
Kim.
Or are you talking about Eastern U.S.?
It's like a church, a temple, then there's a...
Shambhala?
Yeah, I'll go with that, Shambhala. But anyway, we go over there, and there's supposed to be a live, the living life of Muktananda in this statue. And she said, after we got done doing the chants and all that, she says, why don't you go in there and touch the statue, because it's supposed to give you whatever you want if you have a pure heart in your asking of the question. And I thought, well, what the heck? Nothing else has worked. I'll give it a try. So I went in there and I kneeled down, and I just took a moment to center myself and to get to a place of purity when asking my question. So I asked, and I said, how can I forgive? And I was just flooded with all this light. I can't even begin to explain the experience I had, but it was real, and it was so magnificent. And I was given the permission to forgive myself. And it was a supreme permission. Getting back to that word, when Christian D. Larson said supreme importance, he wasn't saying kind of important or greatly important, he's saying supremely important. And what's the highest court in the U.S., the Supreme Court? You can't get any more higher than that. So I was filled with this supreme love, and I just wanted to scream and yell and tell everybody what I found and how you can forgive. But I couldn't put it into words because it was a gift for me, and it was an idea and a vision, but it wasn't something that I could teach or even explain because it was my experience. So I would go up to these 3 guys individually. I was like, you won't believe this, but I forgive you. And I'm so excited about it. It was like the love maniac in me was just overdoing it. And they were like, yeah, okay, right. Thank you very much. But the idea that we don't have to take on forgiveness ourselves, that there's a supreme being that dwells within us, that will bring the answers, will guide us and show us the way. And if you're pure in your heart and asking, it will be released, it will be revealed to you, always and forevermore. And I really didn't truly need anything back from them. I didn't need them to say anything other than the way they reacted. And that was kind of cool too, seeing them like, what's going wrong with this guy? But eventually, eventually, one by one, I reconnected, and we had wonderful things happen. One of the singers was a diabetic, and he was entering his last days of life on the planet, and he called me for prayer. This person that kicked me out of the band, me for praying. We prayed 2-3 times a week until he made his transition. And
Weren't you the last person he talked to also? Because he called you for prayer right before.
Mm-hmm. So, if your intention is to love, let love become a love mania. Go on and spread that love and love yourself and be complete in your love. You got something?
I do. And I just wanted to talk about one of the things I really like to do is when I'm out and about, I just like to smile at everyone and say hi.
She does.
And most people will just smile right back to me and say hi. And then there are a few people, especially when we were in San Francisco walking, people would just kind of and walk by, and I'm like, that's really sad. You can't just take my smile and the love I'm handing out to you and accept it. But it doesn't really matter whether they accept it or not. But it's a really fun thing to do to just, I do it when we walk, but I do it when I'm out shopping or wherever I am. And it's just really fun to see that face light up on the other side because somebody said, it happened the other day when we were walking and the guy was sitting on the bench out in front of his house and he was so surprised when we were like, hi! And he said hi back. So Ernest Holmes says, refuse to see the negative in anyone. Mm-hmm. So I think sometimes we get caught up in our thoughts. And we talk about this all of the time, to watch out for our thoughts, because they're the ones that take us down the rabbit hole. Because when we stay in that place of love, then everything unfolds perfectly. And then we get into this isn't working and that isn't working and I don't blah, blah, then that's where we go. And then we lose the love. So yes, I do. I just this morning, I don't know why I didn't think about this earlier in the week when we were looking at this title. I remembered I had this book that Michael gave me for one of our anniversaries. The poem is by Maya Angelou, and so that's the thing I want to read today, because it is so beautiful. Love's exquisite freedom. We, unaccustomed to courage, exiles from delight, live coiled in the shells of loneliness, until love leaves its high holy temple and comes into our sight to liberate us into life. Love arrives, and in its train come ecstasies, old memories of pleasure, ancient histories of pain. Yet if we are bold, love strikes away the chains of fear from our souls. We are weaned from our timidity. In the flush of love's light, we dare be brave, and suddenly we see that love costs all we are and will ever be. Yet it is only love which sets us free.
Thank you, that's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
You think we pray?
I think we should. So I just invite you to close your eyes. Just center into that heart space. That place where you could feel that power of love, that power of life, that power of the oneness, the allness, the isness, that one life. And recognize that that one power, that one presence is beating your breath. Breathing your breath, beating your heart. That each breath, each beat of the heart reminds us of our oneness. Oneness with God, oneness with Source, oneness of the divine. And so in the absolute wonder to know that this is my life, that the divine is the life of my Reverend Michael, it is the life of each person here, the life of each person listening to us, and all of those everywhere, all the time. It is the life of this planet and all of the lovely things on it, and our solar system, and all the galaxies beyond for millions and more years and light years away. It is all that there is, that divine intelligence always creating. And so I know for us, love and peace and truth and harmony and joy and wonder and creativity and divine health and loving relationships and abundance and prosperity and opportunity. And I'm just in absolute gratitude for this time together this day, for the wonders of being together and of technology, which allow us to do this thing we so love to do. Mm-hmm. And just in absolute gratitude, pass this word to Reverend Michael.
And I call that which is within me, that God self calls upon everybody within hearing distance of my voice, to tap into your heart and open it just a little bit further and allow that heart to come forth as charity, as forgiveness, as unconditional love, as empowerment, as upliftment for you and for all those that you come in contact with. That a magical thing takes place because you have opened your heart a little bit further and allowed more vulnerability to show, allowed more individuals to enter that love circle. And I send out that love to every corner of this planet, to every corner of this universe, knowing that as we open a little bit further in our hearts, the universe opens up further for guidance, for clarity, for empowerment. And each one of us is moved in a divine way. And we all have our own experiences of this divine love that motivates us and inspires us. So this is what I hold for everyone participating today and all those that may listen later on the recording. I send out my love and light, giving thanks for your presence on this planet. So very grateful for who you are and what you are and how you represent yourself as God. And so I give thanks. So eternally grateful to know that this word is fulfilled and complete in the mind of God. So I accept it as so right here, right now, in my life. And in so doing, and so letting go, in a thankful place, I invite you all to say with me, and so it is.
So it is. Amen. Ashe. Amen. Aho. And woohoo! Okay. Time for Robin?
Yes.
I think the woohoo is my favorite. Can you guys hear me? All right, good. I'm just going to share a song with you. There's an echo. You guys hear the echo?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see what happens. We are all just mirrors. In your faces I see clearer, clearer than I've ever seen before. The heart is where to live from, to give all you can give from. This is what I truly know for sure. And love is what we're here for, to give and give more. Oh, love. Love is what we're here for, to give and give more. Love, 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 love. Love, 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 love. Oh, oh. I said love, 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 love. I'm tired of all this anger and my own unkind behavior. Who am I to judge anyone at all? 'Cause if I look into you, I can see the pain you've been through. And I know 'cause I've felt the same way that you do. In love what we're here for, to give and get more. Oh, love. And love is what we're here for, to give and get more. Love, 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 love. Love, 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 love. Oh. I said love, 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 love. And I am an instrument of my peace. I am an instrument of my love. I said love, 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 love. And I am an instrument of my peace. I am an instrument of my love. I said love, 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 love. And love is what we're here for, to give and give more. Oh, oh, love. And love is what we're here for, to give and give more. More. Love, 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 love. Love, 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 love. Oh. I said love, 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 love. Oh, love. Oh, love.
Oh, Robin, I so appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys too.
You worked through that song, and I appreciate what you must have been experiencing with the feedback and the voice. And I just deeply so grateful for you being part of what we do here.
Thank you.
We had a little visitor during that.
I did. I've never. That's so funny. Earlier, I thought, what if someone rings the doorbell? And it's never happened. And today, I thought it happened.
It looked like a little kid, didn't it?
No, it had no. But at first I thought there was somebody at our doors. I'm like looking, and oh no, it's behind her.
That's funny.
Stuff happens, you know, when you're doing stuff live, stuff just happens.
I know.
So, and so it is.
So we got some business to take care of, and we'll be right back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have to say something?
Do I have to say something? No, you say it, then I tell them how.
We got this together, we really do. It may look like we don't, but it's all in divine order. So we invite you to open your hearts and get into that loving place and see if you're called to support the center and the work we're doing. We have room to grow, and we're inviting you to be part of this dynamic, loving congregation of just amazing individuals. So open your heart and see if there's something to say that says, yeah, it's time to give. And we'll honor that by accepting. Thank you.
And so you can, if you use Venmo, you can use the QR code that's going to be up in the corner in a minute. And you can go to our website, which is cslnorthmetro.org. And there are a couple of ways to give there. One's PayPal, and the other one is another one of those things. It's called Subsplash, but you don't need to know that. You just need to know you can go to our website and give however you want to. You can also text to give at 888-364-YOU-GIVE. So if you feel called to give, and we take checks and cash too. So sometimes sometimes they come in the mail, and sometimes they come in person now that we actually have people here. So
We take your prayers too.
We take prayers too. So we bless it.
Yeah, so everybody shine energy towards it. And just repeat after me. I give thanks for this opportunity to give.
I give thanks for this opportunity to give.
I give freely with no wanting anything back.
I give freely with no wanting anything back.
With an open heart, I say thank you.
With an open heart, I say thank you.
And I let it be.
I let it be.
And so it is.
So it is. And now we get to see Robin again.
Okay, you guys, I didn't plan on doing this song. I just looked it up, so I'll be reading the words, but I think you'll like it anyway.
Okay, well, we like it because it's you.
Oh, thank you. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. There's nothing you can do that can't be done. Nothing you can sing that can't be sung. Nothing you can say, but you can learn how to play the game. It's easy. There's nothing you can make that can't be made. No one you can save that can't be saved. Nothing you can do, but you can learn how to be you in time. It's easy. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need. Love is all you need. Love is all you need. You guys, please forgive me. I have a little bit of laryngitis popping up. So.
Hey, I've struggled through the whole talk with the same thing. It's all good.
And we love you both anyway.
Thank you.
We got Greg and Sheila back. They're our producers. We're so thankful for them and all the unselfish work they do.
Yeah.
It's just a pleasure having you and appreciating you for who and what you are.
Yes.
Thank you.
So,
Beautiful.
Thank you.
You know, there's just one more thing I forgot to talk about. Preferences versus demands. If we just change our thought to, I would prefer to have it this way, instead of I demand, it just changes everything. I prefer. So I realized it's like, how did I forget that? That was one of the big things I was going to talk about. So anyway, so I prefer. I don't know what I prefer. There we go.
I can hear everyone. Prefer you to do the.
All right, I can handle that. So just, if you would close your eyes and join me in that unending good, that perfection that is everywhere present, that universal love, that universal law that reciprocates all we think into it. This is the day that God has made. Let us rejoice in it. Let us go forth as loving maniacs into the world, spreading the joy, spreading the love, spreading the idea that we are all perfect, we're all complete, we're all exactly where we need to be when we need to be there. I give thanks for all those who joined us today and all those that may tune in to the recording. Blessing you with all my heart. I give thanks for those that are here in this room with us. What a wonderful blessing that is. I give thanks for Greg and Sheila sending out light and love to Tyler, knowing his need continues to heal and he continues to thrive in life. I give thanks for this and so much more. With open heart and a mind that's complete and fulfilled. I release this, I let go, I let God. Together we say.
And so it is.
So it is.
And join us on Zoom and we'll continue talking. And the link is in the comments, right, Sheila?
Right.
Okay. Okay. All right. Blessings, everyone. We'll see
Blessings.
you very soon.
Thank you, Robin.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you, Robin.
Yep.
Glad you could join us from Texas.
Yeah.
Yay. Okay.
Till next week, everybody.